the just the way that scripture reads, above all else, you have to always be examining your heart. Nobody, Renee can't check me
Yeah, it
about my
doesn't say
heart
guard
condition.
his heart. It says guard your heart.
You have to look at it from the perspective of what's going on with me, and I have to guard my heart from becoming hearted, becoming strayful, becoming all the things that can do damage to the relationship. That's my responsibility in the relationship, just like it's Renee's responsibility in the relationship. So that's what we're kind of talking about tonight. And when you think about it, you have to, you guys already know we're big on assessments, and we're big on always looking at yourself and seeing what's going on with me, but that's what your responsibility is to do.
Yeah. And the thing that I think is so beautiful about that verse
Hmm.
in Proverbs, it says, above all else,
Guard
guard
your
your
heart.
heart, for everything you do
Mm.
flows from it. So,
So it's
so
an
how
action
can
word.
something that feel in my heart produce an action?
Mm.
And so one of the things the Lord has been really helping me to really navigate, I've said it and I'm going to keep saying it throughout the year. This year I decided to put myself on my list, because those of us who take care of other people become very good at taking care of other people while neglecting
Mm.
ourselves. And so I realized that while people lie, patterns don't.
Mm.
We have to look at the patterns that we are manifesting as well as the patterns of the people around us. Because in relationships, I don't know if I shared this or not about the leaning, in healthy relationships, we're leaning on each other. And so a part of being able to lean on someone else is the way that you love you will be the way that you love the people around you. But sometimes we don't really realize that there's something that happened to us. I always say at the heart of every matter, there's a matter of the heart.
Hmm.
Everything that you're going through and experiencing in relationships may have nothing to do with this person. It may have something to do with something that happened to you
Hmm.
5, 10, 15 years ago. And so in order to really be able to give someone your heart, you need to know what's in it.
Why do you think people overlook that when it comes to the conditions of their heart?
Because it takes time and it takes work and it takes self-examination.
Mm.
Because examining your own heart and doing the due diligence to know what your growth areas and strengths are
Hmm.
doesn't seem very sexy, doesn't seem very popular, because we want to emotionalize everything versus really looking at there's some practical things you have to do to experience the things that God has promised us, because God has done his part, but then we have to do our part.
Conditions, decisions, habits, all direct where the condition of your heart. A lot of times you can look at, I think actions speak louder than words more than anything
Yeah.
else. You can have a good verbal game and talk a good part, but what it really boils down to is how are you acting? How are you acting out on the things that you say? If I really say I care and I love Renee, there are going to be some
Some evidence of that.
latitude and some evidence of what I am saying. It has to line up with my words. When my words and my actions are not lining up, that goes back to Proverbs 4:23. I have to look at the condition of my heart and say, what's going on with me? Because if you don't, it's just going to manifest and it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
And I think something else that's
Hmm.
really important to be mindful of and to be wise about is to not compare yourself to other people who are at a different
Mm.
stage in life.